All right, so one thing I've always wanted to get for a while, but I've never gotten around to is filming YouTube videos. Now, for those of you who know who I am and have followed me on Facebook and Instagram, or know me both ways, probably remember around 2017, 2018-ish, I used to film a lot of funny videos, and you guys all liked them a lot. And then all of a sudden, I just stopped, and I fell out of that groove. Well, I want to get back into that groove, and that's what I want to do right now. You know, one thing I've always wanted to do for a while too is get into making YouTube videos, but that thought had never come to me earlier on in my life, and I had been watching YouTube since the beginning. I mean, it started in 2005, but 2006 was the year it blew up, and that's when I started been a fan of it ever since. And it's best form of media, in my opinion. I mean, it's just, it's. But anyways, this is my first video that I'm making, and I figured I would just do a video, introduce myself a little bit. I mean, yeah, it's probably gonna be the worst video of mine that's on here, but again, it's my first YouTube video that I was making. You see, when we were in the pandemic and when we were in the dark phase of the pandemic and there was really nothing to do, I had thought about making YouTube videos then. I was thinking of, early 2021, late 2020, that I was going to start filming videos and posting onto YouTube then and there. But here's the problem. I lacked the motivation to be able to do it. So what was I gonna talk about? I tried one attempt one time and was very stumbly, and I was like, I give up. It's really not as easy as you think. I mean, public speaking is, sort of like, I guess, what you'd call an acquired skill, I guess. You get better as time goes on. I mean, if you watch some of these other YouTubers that have been around for 5 years, 10 years, you probably noticed that the first video they made wasn't the greatest one. You could see maybe they were a little shy, maybe they just didn't have any personality to their voice, and then the next thing you know, they become the biggest star. They start off with maybe not even any subscribers, and then they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and sometimes millions of subscribers. But it took time for them to reach that point. They did not reach that point right away. That's just part of how things are. And it's just, I want to be able to have a YouTube channel where, and get back into, filming videos on social media like I used to. I used to do it all the time around 2017, 2018-ish, and then I just fell out of that groove because I, was going through rough times, and this was before the pandemic even hit. So it's obvious, once COVID hit and we were in lockdown, that really took a toll on me bad. It was very hard to recover for a while, but I think now's a good time, and now it's better than when we were in quarantine. Start filming YouTube because less stumbly, but again, this is my first video that I'm making, and I figured, this is where I'd start. And, like they say, practice makes perfect, but, it's the only way you'll get good at it is to give it a try. Yeah, my first video's probably gonna be the worst of all my videos, but that's the case of just about any YouTuber's videos. And when you haven't filmed a video in a while, and I got so out of tune with it. I mean, I had tried to do it because when I went to Six Flags this summer, I filmed part of when I went, but that was because I was feeling really good that day, wasn't stressed out with work, and I was just enjoying myself. And I said to myself, I'm going to get back into it then and there. And then all of a sudden, I just didn't have much going on, work got in the way, and it's just, it's at the point now where I need to stop procrastinating. And, some people have already subscribed to my channel. It's funny that this YouTube channel that I've been using to subscribe to videos and comment on videos, I've probably had this account since, well, there was a time for a while I didn't have an account, and then I had an account, I stopped using it. I don't know if it's because I forgot the password or did I just want to just start a new account? But this account I've had since like 2018, and from all the, subscriptions and all the comments on people's videos, I actually have 4 subscribers. So now out of those 4 subscribers, they'll look at their subscriber list, and they'll see that I upload a video, and they'll be like, oh, this person I've subscribed to all these years because he always comments on my videos has a video up. Let me check it out. Well, here it is. But you're going to see, like, a lot of more videos that I'm going to film. I want to do videos like, I want to do like vlogging. I want to do day in the life of. I want to film, fun events, going on adventures, drives around town. Basically anything that any YouTuber has or, vlogger or any social media star has typically done on their channel. That's what I want to be able to do on this channel. And of course, I'll be open to any ideas, any suggestions, anything of that nature. All right, so I just wanted to film a quick video of, basically like an introduction video of my personal YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing more of these. And aside from what I was saying before about vlogging, day in the life of, another thing I also want to do too is certain rants. Like you talk about a particular subject, like something happened recently or something from the past or something you're really, passionate about, and you go on a rant about it like some of the other YouTubers do. And I think that'll be great for me. And, for the, and just like how my name is on there, my name is Ryan Kalata. I mean, I've lived on Long Island my whole life, grew up here my whole life. For the first 30 and a half years, I lived in Patchogue, New York. And then I moved to Holbrook when my childhood home was sold and my parents moved out to Riverhead. And I got my apartment in Holbrook, which is where I'm filming right now. Sitting down in my couch and just filming a video of me talking, and it's just, I don't know. I like my apartment and everything. Just, I wish, it was a little bit easier to, to live a little, and, if I didn't have to work as hard as I did, I'd have more time to film more videos. And, if I would have gotten back into the whole social media groove and filming YouTube videos before, like while we were in quarantine, I would have been able to film a video of me leaving my childhood home, packing everything away, and moving into my own place, and even doing a tour of my parents' house too. I could have gotten around to that. I kind of feel a little shameful of that too, because it would have been great to do a farewell of my childhood home before I had left it, but somebody else owns my childhood home now, and and they did a lot of work to it. I mean, there was a time where I was visiting my parents, and my father told me that he had to go there because the new people that we sold the house to wanted to know where the cesspool was, so he had to show them where the cesspool was and where to dig for when they have their cesspool pumped out. And then they showed him around some of the work they've done to the house, and he was quite impressed. And I saw those photos, and I was impressed too, because the house I was living in, the house I grew up in, needed a lot of work, which kind of led to that I wasn't sure if we were gonna be able to sell it that quick. Because when we had the open house, there were a lot of people that said house needs a lot of work. But then you had this couple who came in and bought the house, and it's just and I will say that I was sad to hear to have to leave my childhood home at the time when it had happened, because it came and I wasn't very prepared for it coming. It was one of those things where it was the beginning of 2022. We were 9 days into the new year. All of a sudden, I get home from work and I'm eating dinner in the kitchen. My dad calls me into the living room, and he tells me about this house that they found out in Riverhead, and they're, just informing me about what was going on. And I was in a little bit of shock because that's not something I expected to hear, because it had just snowed a few days earlier, and that was like the first or the second sunny day, because I think it snowed on the Thursday into Friday, and then the weekend came, and it was just something I didn't expect to hear, because all throughout 2021 I had no idea that I was going to be that in any point in 2022 I'd be moving. But again, it was one of those things where there was an open house listed online. My parents went to it. They liked the house, and it led to the whole process. They put the offer in. The offer is accepted, goes into contract, and all that yada yada yada. For those of you who bought homes, know what it's like. The appraisal part of it, and and the whole closeout process for them took them 4 months, and they were held up by the banks for a while. So if it wasn't for all the banks holding them up, they would have been moved out of there sooner. And in a way, it was kind of a good thing that it took a little longer, because it gave me enough time to save up so I could have enough money. Because keep in mind, when I moved into this place, not only did I have to pay my first month's rent, I had to pay a broker fee plus security deposit, which for anyone that's ever rented knows what a security deposit is. You put a certain money aside. It's more, it's kind of like a combination of it's like a good faith deposit, plus it's also for security purposes too. Like if there's any damages done to the apartment at the time when you vacate it, if there's anything like I remember the day I was looking at this apartment and I got the keys to it, landlord's broker was explaining to me what broker fee is all about, and he said that it basically narrows down to if something you cause damage to the apartment and it costs a certain amount of money to fix it, they would take that money out of your deposit. He gave an explanation. You get angry one day, you punch the wall, and you knock a dent into the wall, and they need to fix the drywall. They'll take some of that money out of your deposit. Now, I highly doubt they'll take the entire thing, but they might take however much it takes. Another thing about the security deposits too is that if you ever break out of your lease before the lease termination date, normally you don't get your deposit back. But I like where I'm at, and I have no intent of leaving anytime soon. And it's as much as it happened earlier than I expected it to be. I must say that I am satisfied with what I got, and I think I lucked out when it came down to deals on apartments to rent. The only problem is that now I'm starting to see that there's some places out there that are on the market that are a little cheaper than what I have to pay. But as long as I'm satisfied with where I'm at, apartment wise and location wise, and it's all that really matters. I have a lot of convenience over by where I live, similar to the house I grew up in, pretty much where I grew up in Patchogue on Highland Avenue. At the end of my block, I had a gas station. There was a dry cleaner. At the end of the next block over, there was a CVS that was walking distance. So I had a lot of convenience nearby. Where I live now in Holbrook, I live right off of Union Avenue. For those of you who know where it is, I have grocery store, Giunta's Meat Farms is walking distance. I have a walking distance 7-Eleven. Laundromat where I do my laundry, because there's no washer and dryer in my apartment, is only a 2 to 3 minute drive, and I have a CVS that's the same length, or it's either 2 to 3 minute drive or a 10 to 15 minute walk. So I kind of have the same convenience at my that I had when I was in Patchogue, which is good, because it's I think honestly I got the best deal out of what could have happened. In terms of all this, but it's funny too. When I was renting an apartment, I had no idea how much was actually involved. Up until the point when I moved out and got my own apartment, and I was, looking at other apartments and putting inquiries in. The funny thing is that, like, prior to that point, I would have thought that getting an apartment was just as easy as you walking to the leasing office, you sign the paperwork, and you get the keys. I had no idea about background checks, reference checks, credit checks, employment verification. I had no idea any of that stuff was involved, but I found out that day. But luckily, I was able to get in. I mean, I had a decent credit score. I made decent enough income to be able to qualify. I gave a few references, and that was that. All right, so I think since it's been a little over 15 minutes and I intended this video to be short and sweet, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this video up, and you'll see me on my next video. For those of you who know who I am, I'm Ryan Kalata, but for those of you who don't, that's who I am, and this is my YouTube channel. For the 4 subscribers that I have, now you can finally get a chance to see what do I look like? Because you're probably wondering, this guy's commenting on my stuff all the time, but he doesn't upload anything. But today's the day that I upload something, so you get to see a little introductory video of me. All right, see you folks around next time. Bye.